Hello, I wanted to make a short video about how you actually can make a flowing leak effect as you see here. We can make it pool liquid with the liquid pool. We can use our spout leak to do kind of a static leak that shows, but then I'm going to show you how you actually add some flow to it. So let's first start out with the pooling liquid. What I would do is go to HazMat and go to pooling liquid. And I go here and now I can make this bigger or smaller, but what I can do is also flatten it so it looks like it's more like on the ground. So I go to the pencil tool, I say transform, flatten, expand, and now when I move it up and down, you see I can kind of flatten it out to make it look like it's more hugging the ground, kind of like it's collecting on the ground. And so I'm going to go here, make that a little bit bigger, and then I can also make this, I can make it a bit transparent with opacity. And now so I can make it look like it's really covering the tracks here. Now I also can change the color, as you saw with that green one. The pool that I had was there already. What I do is I say set color, but now by default there's no color. I'm going to go and add a color in, but it's telling me move the color intensity to apply the color. So I'm applying green, but you see it's still gray. I've got to move color intensity to actually say how much green to put in. So that's how I actually make it green or make it red or whatever it happens to be. And then I hit OK, and so that's my pooling liquid. So let's see now, if I want to just make a spout over here, I could bring in spout leak. I could go to HazMat and say, over here, spout leak. And I could bring this in. And if, now it's going from left to right. I could flip it horizontal. I go to transform to say horizontal, flip it around. And now I can actually go here and move it around, and that would be for just a static view of it. And I can use the same thing with color if I wanted to match the color. I go to color here. Let's say I set it to kind of a pink, but I haven't had to add in color intensity. And there now you can see it kind of goes into that pink, purple, whatever, to match the color. And I hit OK. But now what about this other green one here? Remember, so that's what I've got so far. Is I hit play and you see I've got my purple, I've got my leak on the ground, but how do I get some movement in there? What I can do with that, I recommend going into here, into plus, and using the steam effect. The steam effect looks like this. It's white. What I can do is I can actually expand it, and I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten it down. So I'm going to go to transform and say narrow widen. What this is going to do is sort of shrink it like that. I can make it longer like this. Now I'm going to go here to the general sizing and bring it down to be like that. Now that in itself, if I now go rotate and I could put it over here, now I'm going to go and make it even smaller. And so if I'm over like this now, and I'm going to flatten, I'm going to do this again, narrow widen. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Transform, narrow widen. Now you'll see I'm going to go down, like let's say I want that distance, but I'm going to now go and I'm going to expand it up, and I'm going to really flatten it out. Transform, narrow, widen. I'm going to bring it back something like way wide like that. And so this is going to be there's my kind of leak. Now that might be something that's okay, what you've got there. And now I can also color it the same way. Maybe that's the right leak. But what I also can do, if that's not, let's take a look and see how that is. There's sort of a leak, but now it's still kind of wide. I can still play with the scaling some more. But with the steam burst, one of the things is also there's a spread parameter, which is wide or narrow. And so if I go to narrow here, that's where you'll see I've got that little, it's much narrower beam. And so now I've sort of matched that. You can see it's matched to sort of the green one there. And so I can then go back here and color it, just so set my color. And say, okay, I'll go to, let's say, the pink or so, red, and I can now go and change that with the right color intensity. And if I'm going to hit OK. If I want to now make it still smaller, I can scale it up or scale it down. And then there's basically, let's say I made that a little too bit big, and I can put it there, and that's now like a leak effect. So that's essentially how I do this. Now, if I want to make it look more realistic, I can put the leak over the spout leak. So I can go over here and say spout leak. I'm going there and move this one. I'm moving the pooling liquid. I'm going to go over and then move that. And I'm going to just put it over the green one here. And I'm going to change the color a little bit so it matches the green. And you'll see now, if it's green there, it kind of now fits over. I'm going to now go back and adjust the location there. So now I can go and match it so it kind of leaks. I'm going to go, and so I'm going to go back over here to the green. Okay, let's get the green and then hit like that. So that sort of gives me, now I can obviously go, now it sort of looks like I've got the curvature there. If I want it straight with a lot of force, I don't need the curvature, but it gives me more of an impression of a leak, and I could certainly shorten that up as well. That gives you hopefully a good idea of how you might actually make your, so you can use steam as a good effect. You can also use the smoke, the regular laminar or turbulent smoke, and then make that all white or color it to whatever you would like. Let us know how we can help more and show us effects and things that you'd like to actually accomplish. Thank you.